safe community. Ongoing developments in public safety, law enforcement, and community justice.
Treatment plays a critical role in public safety, and ARC is at the center of that work in Jackson County. From deflection and reentry programs to youth behavioral health support, their services help individuals build stability and recovery. Learn how treatment and accountability work together to create stronger community outcomes.
For me, it was a little bit of an eye-opener because I just assumed on the other side that everybody who received services for behavioral health, for addictions, must be involved actively on community supervision. They maybe are on pretrial. That has to be 98% of the people that are served. And that's actually not quite the case. We serve a majority of folks who aren't currently on supervision and aren't currently awaiting trial. We do have a large number of people that are in the criminal justice system, though, and we have a specific way we serve them. Really, pre-treatment and engagement has been one of the newer pieces that we've been able to formalize and look at building. It's often peer-driven. Here is a picture of our peers down on the Greenway right outside of Hawthorne Park. And when you talk about being successful, working with people, addressing behavioral health needs and concerns, I really do believe it's peers that make that work happen and make that work effective for people in their lives. Peers are out at the Greenway, they're at the jail, they're at the transition center, and the individual might be not saying that they're ready and demanding treatment right that second, but we can often start the conversation, build the relationship. So when that person is ready to fully engage in those services, the peer has laid the groundwork that can get that person to services. Levels 1 and 2 are outpatient services, both intensive and more educational. And the level 1 is a place where a majority of our clients are receiving services. We have people who are going to their counselor's group up to 3 times a week, 2 hours per time, and that builds into their treatment plan of services. We talk about level 3.5, which is our high intensity residential. We have a women's program, which is the Ready House. And we have the Mason House, which is right behind us here across the fence, and that serves men. And the construction, which is building our 3.1 level of care, is 24 beds of services that we anticipate being done this year. The only delay is waiting for the federal government to fire back up. And as those pieces get out, there is $1.4 million that has been appropriated through Congress that we anticipate coming to pay for the last piece. And then the last piece, level 3.7, which is our withdrawal management, which is 24-hour care for individuals who are working on a plan to use medication as a transition from usually street drugs and fentanyl, but also a lot of folks come in for alcohol problems. So if we look at some of the numbers in terms of who we served and what those services have looked at, you'll see that there was a big jump in total clients served in 2025. And currently we are seeing each month, it's like, hey, another new record in terms of number of clients served. And so that's really been the last 3 months that we've been able to focus and increase the number of services we provided. Engagement and outpatient are the places where we've seen the largest increases. And the reason that those two pieces have increased like that is because they can. Our residential has a limited number of beds. We can't go beyond 14 beds for women. We can't go beyond 22 beds currently for the men. And our withdrawal management historically was more limited in terms of the space we were using. And we've been able to increase the length of time that people are staying. When we look at the average length of stay down at the bottom, we can see that in withdrawal management, that individuals are really up to 7.6 currently, which is our average length of stay. And when you talk about people going through the process, what it's doing, many times alcohol requires more time. We've seen an increase, and part of that is because we've gotten a lot more adept at supporting them in their needs as they go through this process. So thank you all for your interest and your investment and your thoughts and your care around behavioral health and the role it can play in impacting those individuals in the criminal justice system. As a probation guy, I was kind of coming at it from the perspective of, we can do a lot of these things just through probation. And that's true. P&P and community justice can play a really big role, but it's really at its most effective and its most life-changing when we connect those services with so many of these behavioral health people, with these medical people. And so we're so glad to have that